Well, Wildcat was written in a kind of obsolete vernacular.
Before sex became obsolete.
She is completely obsolete.
Well, that's because we've done a great job at making ourselves completely obsolete.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this Talk Word Explainer. This is where we take everyday English words and, well, really get to know them, unpacking their exact meaning, where they come from, and how people actually use them in the real world. Because, mastering vocabulary isn't just about memorizing some dusty dictionary. It's about uncovering the stories hiding behind the words. And today, we've got a great one. We're focusing on a word you're going to hear constantly, especially when you're talking about tech, innovation, or just how fast time flies. Okay, let's dive into this. Think about it for a second. Why don't we use floppy disks or cassette tapes or, those massive, heavy, boxy TVs anymore? It's not like every single one of them just magically broke at the exact same time, right? No, it's because something newer, faster, and honestly, just better came along and completely took their place in our lives. That specific feeling, that reality of being replaced by the relentless march of progress, well, that is the exact concept we're giving a name to today.
So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll define obsolete. Then we'll look at the origin of the word. After that, we'll hit some real-world usage examples. And finally, how you can continue learning with TalkWord.
All right, section 1, defining obsolete. Let's figure out exactly what it means. So obsolete is an adjective, and the definition is no longer produced or used, out of date. But honestly, the absolute key phrase I want you to focus on here is no longer used. When you describe something as obsolete, you're basically saying that society as a whole has just collectively decided to move on from it. It's totally left behind in the dust of history. Now, this brings us to a super crucial distinction, and this is really where the true nuance of the word lives: obsolete versus broken. They are not the same thing. Just imagine a beautifully crafted vintage typewriter from, say, the 1920s. If you press the keys, they might still strike the paper perfectly. Physically, it's totally fine, not broken at all. But because we all have computers and smartphones in our pockets now, that perfectly functioning typewriter, it's obsolete. It's entirely about usefulness in a modern context, not its physical condition. Oh, and by the way, there's even this wild concept called planned obsolescence, which is where products are actually designed to become out of date really fast, literally just so you have to go buy a new one. Crazy, right?
Moving right along to section 2, the origin of the word. Where in the world did this come from? Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it shows language evolving right alongside us. If we trace obsolete all the way back, we land in ancient Rome. They used the Latin word obsoletus, which basically meant worn out or fallen into disuse. Fast forward to the 16th century, and it was fully integrated into the English language. But today, we apply this word heavily to our fast-changing human technology. So what started as a way to describe, worn-out clothes or old habits centuries ago is now literally the perfect word to describe your 3-year-old smartphone. It's just a brilliant example of how language adapts to our daily reality.
Okay, let's jump into section 3, real-world usage examples.
Let's see how this actually builds your conversational confidence with a few concrete examples. First up, smartphones made his old pocket watch obsolete. Notice how the newer invention actively does the replacing here. Okay, second example, the software update rendered the manual obsolete. I love this one because rendered obsolete is a fantastic, highly natural English phrase you can absolutely steal and use. And third, gas lamps are an obsolete form of street lighting. Pretty straightforward, right?
So wrapping up that thought, we get to this. Innovation makes the old ways obsolete. And, this isn't just a vocabulary lesson. It's really a reflection on human progress. Every single time we innovate, we inevitably leave something else behind. Using the word obsolete in your daily life shows that you grasp that relationship between the past and the future. It's just a really sophisticated, powerful word to keep in your English toolkit.
Finally, we're at section 4, continue learning with TalkWord.
Well, look at that. You have successfully added a highly useful, really nuanced adjective to your active vocabulary today. But as we know, language is an endless, fascinating journey. So I want to leave you with a quick thought to ponder. What English word are you going to master next? Will it be another tech term, maybe a word for a complex emotion, or a tricky verb? The choice is entirely up to you. But I promise, the more curious you are, the faster you're going to learn. And hey, to keep that incredible momentum going, you've got to download the TalkWord app. It is packed with these deep podcast-style explanations of basically any English word you can think of. It's absolutely the best way to turn confusion into clarity right from your phone, making learning super effective and honestly just a lot of fun. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer today. Keep exploring, keep expanding that vocabulary, and I will catch you next time.